Hi, I'm Donna Davis. Richard Cole couldn't be here today, but we do have a very special interview with our first prize winner in our Cole's Calendar contest. Welcome to the show, Kenny Fay.
Well, glad to be here. Thank you for allowing me to do this.
I've been to your website. I've seen a little of your photography. It looks like you do mostly bridal photography. So tell me a little bit about why you got into nature photography. And we want to tell the viewers today a little bit of tips that they can use also to improve their nature photography. So how did you get started, Kenny?
Just love the outdoors and spent a lot of time hiking the western part of South Carolina and just said, hey, I got to document this. This is too pretty. And as I got a little older, I calmed down a little bit. I spent a lot of time kayaking on the Chattooga River. And if you've ever been there, it's just a beautiful place. So I just started taking photos. And it started out as all I wanted to do was be a nature photographer, take waterfalls, all that good stuff, like most people do. Somehow or another, I wound up chasing brides around on Saturdays. So it's helped me expand my photography knowledge doing weddings, expanded my gear selection. And that gear that I use for most of my weddings is perfectly matched for doing nature and bird photography.
Okay, so give us some tips, if you will, about how you're able to get such good pictures. I notice you have a lot of bluebird pictures. You must especially have a lot of bluebirds around.
I have houses around, and I feed them a lot of mealworms, and they love them. And I feed my birds every day, vigilant at it. Just keep them water, all the rules that Richard always talks about: shelter, food, nesting. I follow all those rules and they will come.
Yeah, because no matter how good you are at photography, if you're not attracting, the right thing to be photographed, then that doesn't do you any good, right?
Exactly. I've always been interested in bird photography, and how I got my rebound back into it is that I had a coal feeder. And one of the parts, I guess a squirrel must have chewed it off or made it come loose. So I called up coals, and they were really nice. You guys don't pay me to say any of this stuff. This is the truth. They sent me the missing part. But the lady on the phone said, hey, because I was babbling about how I love to shoot birds. And she told me about the contest. So ever since I knew about that, I've really never entered any bird contests or photography for birds. I have a few published bird images, but it kind of woke me back up again. But I was always interested in it, but I never put all of the puzzles together: shelter, food, water, good photography technique. It's all got to come together. I know there's people, even in my community where I live here, they got beautiful setups, beautiful amount of birds, but they don't have that photography in it. So I'm just lucky where I got it all to come together.
This is really your passion, your hobby. You're not looking to make money from it. You just really
No.
just love the birds and to take pictures of them, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's so relaxing to sit out there, and if I can keep the squirrels away, I'll be doing okay. But one thing I do recommend for anyone, I was always taught by a few early nature photography classes that I took. A tripod is, to me, one of the most essential pieces of equipment that you need to own, and not a cheap one. A good one, a sturdy one, a heavy one. Well, with the carbon fiber now, they're pricey, but they're light. That is the secret. Keeping that camera still, keeping it solid.
Now, what about, have your birds gotten so used to you that they'll get close to you, or do you use a
Yes,
really like high-powered lens?
I I'm now using a 500 millimeter, but I don't have to have that. With today's high megapixel cameras, you can crop in, but it's just like you said, it's letting them become used to them. There are some techniques that I use where I'll have my wife come out with me, and then she'll leave. Well, birds can't count. They see her leave, and they don't know I'm still sitting there. So that's a trick that most bird photographers can tell you. Like if you go into a blind and two people come in or one go out, they're not going to know there's someone still in there. But I sit on my front porch and they've become so used to me. At first, I set up some curtains and camouflage and I was hiding behind it. But, actually, they're probably 5, 6, 7, 8 yards away from me.
Wow. Richard has gotten so friendly with the birds that they literally, and particularly bluebirds, it seems like he said, did this. They will come and like peck at the window, like, hey, we're ready to be fed. Like, I think that's amazing.
Yeah. They know when I come home from work because I'm pretty much come home all the time. And especially, in the nesting season, when I pull up, I can hear them. And they're waiting for their daily dose of mealworms. Yeah, it's amazing. It really is.
Tell me a little bit about the picture that won a first prize in the Coles contest. Tell me how you took it, what the whole situation, kind of paint the picture for me.
We had a nice snow that day. It was on the weekend. No getting up and going to work. Where I work, it's snow or shine. I got to show up. But that was on a Sunday. So I have my feeders set up in the location. And what I do to the left or to the right or anywhere around the surrounding area, I put up perches, tree branches, trees that are dead where I dig a hole and just stick them in the yard. My front yard looks like a war zone with all these naked trees, but the birds land on there before they go to the feeders. So it gives me that beautiful natural setting. And then, sometimes I clip either some moss to put on there or some holly to decorate it. So it gives them a natural setting. I guess in a way you could say it's cheating, but stalking birds, I've done that. And that's challenging.
I don't think it's cheating at all. I think that the holly and those types of things that bring some color to the photograph are just essential.
Yes.
I love those things, and especially when you have those beautiful contrasting colors of the white snow and then the blue and the holly. Anything else that you want to say about the Coles contest? Have you gotten your prize yet? Did you get it
Oh,
yet?
yes. Yes.
You putting
Oh,
it to
yeah.
work to attract those birds?
It's in the feeders now. I use some of the recipes that Richard had said with the, I call it kibbles and bits, but the little kibbles, I put that in there, and I've got different kinds of feeders. I've got squirrel proof, but that's not going to attract some of the birds that need a platform. Occasionally I throw some on the ground. So I got all levels from low to medium to high to try to give everybody a little bit of loving. But it is a challenge with squirrels and other, rodents. So I have to be real vigilant, keeping the area clean. Most of us birders, a lot of people, some of the groups I belong to, that's something that everybody. Why are the squirrels coming? Why are the possums coming? Why are these coming? Keep your area clean.
I have to ask you this. Have you tried Cole's hot meats?
Yes, they're in the feeder now.
Yeah.
I think the squirrels like them.
Well, as I have heard from people in the Coles family, if an animal's hungry enough, it's going to
Yes.
eat anything. But
Yes.
I keep feeders up near, on my deck, and I fill a little feeder, and I used to have it just with regular food in it, but oh my gosh, it was always getting, vandalized by the squirrels, and they were always taking theirs. But then I started to put hot meats in it, and it really worked. They've stayed out of it. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. It's a hot blend is what I use with the seeds and everything.
Yeah.
So I buy it
I
already
use his
mixed
liquid, the liquid, and
Yeah.
also the regular hot meats. Where I live, there's one nursery that stocks coals, and that's really how I got a finer store, finer product. That's where I started getting my stuff from.
Would you be willing to let people, if they have questions and that sort of thing, to answer their questions at your convenience in our comments?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Okay, great. So I'm sure people want to know more about the first prize winner in the Kohl's Calendar contest. And really quick, how did it feel to see your picture win first prize and know it's going to be in the end?
What can I say? It was, ecstatic, not only this year, but last year also too, I won first prize. So it was nice,
I really like both pictures. Love the bluebird pictures.
Yeah. They're just an amazing bird. And like I said, I have a birdhouse nesting box in the back, and I get about 2 groups a year. So it's amazing. I especially when they come out there and start feeding the young. It's just I get a kick out of some of the young woodpeckers. They peck on anything if they haven't really found out where the food is. The bluebirds still depend on their parents to feed them when they're that young.
No better entertainment than watching the bluebirds, like teaching their young how to fly and feeding them and even picking out the house every year. I love it.
It's really, really, it's peaceful, when we all go through craziness and, hectic days, but sit on my porch and just watch the birds.
Brings you back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Brings you back to your calm.
It's relaxing for me.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Kenny. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today.
Hello, this is Richard Cole. I want to thank each of you for watching, and I want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to share it.